Yo, what's going on, guys? So I just wanted to give you a very, very simple routine. It's a great routine for people who are just beginning male enhancement. These are you're just looking to improve the size of your dick because it is important to you. You've decided that you want to take action. The reason, if you watched the last video I just put out, the reason for my recommendations for the Bathmate and the Sizegenetics is simply because they provide you an immediate visual result. So if you use the Bathmate, your dick is going to be pumped up. It's going to be visually, physically bigger than it was before. With the Sizegenetics, you're going to wear it, and visually, physically, you can feel it, see it. It's going to be longer than it was before, and that is really good reinforcement for you to continue with this process, so that you will feel motivated to go through and go to the next level. Because again, like the biggest reason that I found most guys kind of fall off from this, and I know this for myself, is like it's a slow process. Growing your dick is a slow process, much in the same way that business can be a slow process, or picking up women, or improving your physique. Sometimes you'll hit plateaus, and it's just like, when is this? Am I really making the progress I want to make? It seems like it's going slower than possible. So the Sizegenetics and Bathmate are great for that reason. They give you the immediate feedback. So that said, here's a very simple routine that you can use that I recommend to guys. In the morning, what I always say is, like, this is the best time to really, in terms of PE and in terms of many other things, I have a phrase, and it's a very popular phrase: win the morning, win the day. If you do everything right in the morning, the rest of your day is going to fall into place. And that goes for business, that goes for working out, physical exercise, eating right, conditioning the mind, reading good shit, making decisions and planning out your day, so on and so forth. But also for this right here, where you do some type of something that's going to break down the tissue in your dick first thing in the morning. That way, when you put it into the extender, it's going to heal in a extended state. Basically, think of it like this. Let's say that, I guess the best comparison would be like, say that, for a bicep, right? Say if I really break down my bicep in the morning, and then after that, there was some way that I could keep it inflated all day. That would be the best possible scenario for growth, because I worked it out in the morning. Now for the rest of the day, it's going to stay pumped up in that state. There's going to be nutrients flowing to it because it's all pumped up and everything, and it'll heal a lot better. There's things that you could do in bodybuilding that are similar to that. There are guys that use Nolatil or whatever, all that crazy stuff. Not into that anymore, but that's what the extender is. It's like healing in an extended state. So the easiest routine that I can give you is this: use the Bathmate in the morning. Then, after you're done with the Bathmate, use the Sizegenetics. And then in the evening, use the Bathmate again. And that's a great routine. And you can just build around those habits of just centering your day. Like in the morning with your shower, use the Bathmate. During the day, use the Sizegenetics. And if you're just starting out, that means use it for maybe 2 to 5 minutes with a flaccid dick, and then the Bathmate. And then you begin to progress. You begin to eventually work up more time. You can use it with a semi-erection or an erection. Then use the fucking Sizegenetics after that. So it's fun to talk about this. Use the Sizegenetics after that. And again, you build up, but the key thing here is just the habit of doing it. So in the beginning, you're going to do it with maybe an hour in the Sizegenetics at a lower setting. But over time, maybe you work up to 2 hours, 3 hours, in the next coming weeks, 4 hours. Maybe you increase the intensity. You start to gain some size. You start to add some bars to it. You add a little bit. You unscrew the screws so it extends it. You begin to make progress. And then in the evening, you finish it off with Bathmate again. And if you're, say you're having sex that evening, one of the amazing things about the Bathmate is the ability to use it before sex, and then go into the bedroom with a basically a pumped up dick, and it's a very cool thing once you get to a certain level of condition. It's a very cool thing. So that's a really easy routine, and it's a great intro to male enhancement, because what it does is it shows guys, it shows people like, hey, this really works. If you do these simple things, you're going to see immediately, like on day one, even if you use the Bathmate for 5 minutes with a flaccid dick, you're going to see my flaccid dick is thicker, it is a bit longer. That is really cool. And by the way, it gets way more dramatic, like way more dramatic as you begin to increase the time in the Bathmate, incorporate jelqing, stretching. I mean, I'm telling you, it's fucking crazy. Like, you'll see your dick go from like something that maybe is, it depends where you're starting from. For me, when I started, it was not very impressive, to where it is now, where it's like, every girl that I take my dick, it's a funny thing to talk about, but it's true. Like, every girl that I take my dick out for, they're like, what the fuck? It's a cool thing. And, many girls really appreciate that. You'd be surprised how much girls talk about dick size. They have conversations with each other all the time about guys they're hooking up with, who has a small dick, who doesn't really satisfy them and fill them up. And then the guys who do fill them up, and they seek out those guys sometimes. Now, I'm not saying to do this to please women. That's not a good frame to come from. And that's not what this channel is about. But what I am saying is that, look, it's competitive out there. Give yourself every advantage that you can possibly have to build your confidence, to build your self-esteem. And when if you do come across a woman you actually want to spend time with in a longer term relationship, guess what? That's another thing that's going to add to that relationship. It's another positive thing. It's a big turn on for you, for most guys, and it's a big turn on for her, for most girls. Almost every single girl. I don't think there's ever been one that's been turned off, by me having a bigger dick than I did before, or even I've never seen it. They've been scared, but they've never been like, and it's taken them time for me to work it in, which usually happens. But, again, it's a good thing. Like, it's something that really actually adds to the experience for the girl, versus if she just doesn't care, or she's like not impressed, that doesn't feel particularly good, and it's not a great experience. And I think a lot of guys experience that who don't naturally have big dicks. I mean, I certainly did not. I'm very average, but over time, I developed it. So that's about it, guys. Look forward to new content from me on this channel. And generally speaking, by the way, I'm in a way more upbeat mood. I'm just like, man, I don't know. I'm just super fucking tired today, but I still wanted to get the information out to you guys. So I'm actually pretty stoked about the new channel. This isn't just about male enhancement. It's going to be about improving your lifestyle. It's going to be making more money, dressing well, learning how to level the fuck up, because that's really what it's all about. Life is not, I'm going to put up another video about this very shortly, but life is not about being a fucking loser.